If you're a mental health professional and you're thinking about opening up that private practice or really any business, I want to save you from a mistake that I see a lot of people make. And that mistake is, do not quit your job. Don't quit your job. Stay at your job. Open up that practice part-time. Let's talk about why I recommend this and how to do it. Hi, my name is Shan. I'm a licensed mental health therapist, private practice owner, and digital creator. If you're new here, come on in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so I can continue making videos every single week for my mental health professionals when it comes to growing your career, expanding your impact, making more income, transitioning, whatever the topic is, we have it over here on this channel. And I hope you stay tuned. Okay, so when it comes to opening up a private practice, I opened up my private practice part-time. And the reason why I'm making this video, because this got a lot of traction on social media. I just propped my phone up and I started talking about it. It was just a random topic I had on my heart or in my head. And a lot of people found interest in it. And a lot of people were commenting like, oh my gosh, I'm scared to make that jump. X, Y, and Z. And yes, it's scary, but I want to make it a little less scary and for you to be able to exit your job a little more financially secure. So do not leave your job. Start that private practice part-time if you can, right? So I'll say a disclaimer. I know a lot of you guys may work somewhere where maybe you can't start a private practice. Maybe there's some type of rule or something in place where you can't do that. You have to leave the job completely, or maybe you don't have the capacity to. It is going to be a grind. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it like it's not going to be a grind. Seeing clients after work, after you have already interacted with clients all day, or seeing them on the weekend is a grind, but you are working towards something that's yours. You're working towards maybe an exit, or if you don't want to have an exit, you just want to have something on the side. You're still working towards some additional income for you to have some additional income coming in outside of your 9 to 5. And if this is another business or a different business you want to start, that still applies. You're still having some income coming in and you're working towards your own thing, your own goals, not someone else's. So I started my private practice part-time. I was seeing clients when I got off of work, so around like that 5:30 time frame until about like 9 o'clock at night, and I was seeing clients on Saturday. Now during the week, I was only seeing clients about 2 days a week, and then Saturday. So about 3 days a week, I was seeing clients. I made sure I didn't want to do it every day. I still wanted to leave myself with some free time, right? So for Saturday, anyone who's going to therapy on a Saturday, they don't want to go at 4 o'clock. They want to go in the morning time. So I made sure I knocked it out in the morning. And I also blocked off my calendar on the Saturdays I couldn't see clients or I had something going on. But that allowed me to collect a lot of additional income. It was money coming in, and money I really didn't have a need for. I didn't need that money at that time. My full-time job was covering everything that I needed it to cover. So what I was able to do with that money is I was able to save it for when I left my 9 to 5. I had a cushion in case I didn't get any clients or any more clients, or, you know, the just in case you need to cover some of your salary until you get to a point, a full caseload, or till you have created something that replaces your 9 to 5 income, and then it just kind of grows from there. But I encourage you to keep your full-time income for the stability, for the benefits, for all of those things, and start something part-time and start it strategically. Don't just say, oh, I'm dropping everything and I'm leaving. So I was at my full-time job once I started my private practice. The funny thing is I started my private practice like 2 months after I got licensed. And when I say started, I mean I see my first client, because I was already working on my website and everything before I got licensed. You can still work on those business things before you actually take your exam or before you actually get licensed. And then you have that all set up, you have your system set up, you can start working on credentialing and all of that. So it took me about 2 months or so to get my first contract and credential with the insurance company, and then also set up my EHR, because I didn't do that beforehand because I didn't want to pay for it. I wanted to wait until I was close to making some type of income, and normally you can get some money off or maybe a free month or something, and I wanted to time it perfectly so I could take advantage of that. But those other things allowed me to get the ball rolling. So I was at my job for about a year before I officially left. And if you guys watch my channel, you kind of know why I was like, all right, I got to have that push and I have to give myself, I guess, that push and I have to leave. It was the perfect time. It was like, all right, it's time to hang this up and it's time to go in on your private practice full time. You got money saved up, you got a couple months, you got a nice little cushion, and you're seeing the clients flow in, so your systems work, right? That's the other important thing, is knowing that your process works. So your process when it comes to getting clients, if you're using marketing tools like social media, or if you're using ads, or if you're using these directories, or if you're doing word of mouth, starting part-time, you're really not taking any huge risk because you still have your full-time income, and you can see that your processes work before you go all in or you dive all in on self-employment or entrepreneurship, where you really don't have a safety net. Like, yes, you can always go back and find a job or go back to a job, but it's probably going to take you a little bit to get there. You might have already taken some risk, some heavy risk, and might have put yourself like in some debt, or whatever the case may be. So why not try to do it the opposite way and just leave our job a little more financially secured? Quick pause on the video. Are you a mental health professional, clinician, therapist who's working at an agency that does not give you updated material to use in your sessions for client homework, for one-to-one sessions, group work, or working with kids and couples? If that sounds like your agency, watch this video. I have created a library full of resources for clinicians, for you. Inside of this library, you'll have access to now about 70 plus mental health workbooks. That's over 3,000 mental health worksheets to use in your session, plus one new workbook every single week. I want you to come and join us over in the membership so you can always be prepared for your sessions, and you can stop scrambling for worksheets at night, on the weekend, or during that unpaid admin time. Link is in the description. Now let's get back to the video. I don't want you to build a private practice out of desperation. Like, oh, I gotta leave my job. This is just so exhausting. That's when we start making some impulsive decisions, and that's when we start making some not so good decisions. And that leads me to being the actual business owner of your practice and putting things in place that not only a clinician would think about, but a business owner would think about. Most of the time, a clinician wouldn't even think about it because we're just thinking about client care, making sure the client is good. And that's when we start to drop our fees or waive this or waive that. You can do that every once in a while, but doing it for every client will sink your business. So needing to put on that CEO hat. And when you start a practice out of desperation, that CEO hat never gets put on because you're chasing your next dollar, or you're trying to figure out where your salary is going to come in from, or how you're going to pay yourself or get paid. So starting part-time just allows you to start a little more strategically. So I encourage you to start that private practice, but to start it part-time, probably the best thing that I could have done. A lot of people just jump straight in, and a lot of people are very, very successful. But if I could give you a piece of advice, that is the piece of advice I would give you. My last tip is, when I did decide to put in my notice, I actually gave my job about a 1.5 to 2 month notice, and I didn't do it for them. I did it for me because the VA, I worked at the VA, they take forever to hire people. So I said, how about I stick around till y'all hire somebody, and then I'll give you this big notice and then I'll make my exit. They still didn't hire my replacement by the time I was leaving. I just knew that they would willingly take this offer. And this, again, it may not work for you, but once I knew the date that I was leaving, that 2 months gave me time to prepare. So I was able to open up my calendar, and people were able to book their initial intake assessments. So when I left, I had people on my calendar. My automations were A1. So when it came to reminding them about their appointment, reminding them to complete their paperwork, I was able to check insurance benefits. I was able to do all that within that 2 months to prepare for my exit. And when I left, not only did I have my clients from when I started part-time, I also had new clients for initial intake assessments on the books. Even if you give a month or 2 weeks, use that time, that short time that you have, to put things in place so when you leave, you have some clients rolling in, you're taking advantage of these marketing sites, you're doing all of those things. So that's my last tip for you. I think it was genius when I did that. And a lot of people probably do that and they probably think of it, but I just thought it was genius because I used that 2 months to really put my business or get my business to a space where I had clients when I walked out the door. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, we make videos every single week. So please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so we can continue to push them out to you. And I'll catch you guys on next week's video.